Okay, hello everyone.
Hello, Gal.
Hi. So I'm a lawyer, and one of the nice things of being a lawyer is people never listen to what you give them as advice. Although I have to say that about an hour ago I gave advice to maybe we should have a coffee break before our panel, so that advice was taken. Great. I'm a lawyer at Thomson. I'm a Canadian lawyer and I'm an Israeli lawyer. I've been in the tech industry for 18 years. I work here in the US, in China, in India, all around the world. And it's great to be a tech lawyer nowadays, obviously. Software has taken over. Blockchain is kind of an evolution of that. So I have all these exciting panelists here, and I'm going to turn it to them. So Lisa, can I start with you? Maybe if you can introduce yourself and maybe tell us a bit what you find exciting in the application world today in blockchain.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Lisa Cheng. I am the founder of EtherParty. We are a part of the Vanbex group, and we've been in blockchain since 2013. We've worked on one of the first ICOs known as Mastercoin, and we've been perfecting the model since. One of the things I'm looking forward to with blockchain is the incoming adoption that will be taking place over the next year and how projects will be addressing that.
Great.
Oh, hi. My name is Hafeez. I'm from Pinmo, the little project over there. I specialize in digital marketing and talking about blockchain all across the interwebs. In terms of what I think that's cool and happening, I've always been a big fan of CryptoKitties. I thought that was one of the coolest things to ever come out on the blockchain. And actually, there's a guy over here with a company called Axie that you really should take a look at too if you like CryptoKitties. I think it's the next evolution of that whole space. I believe that really the biggest impact that we need to have in this space is actually having things that people will use. Everyday people, not just, us blockchain geeks.
Hi, my name's Angela Griffin, and I'm with Glance Technologies, which has a payment platform that's been live since about September 2016 called Glance Pay. And so we are looking at expanding our platform into blockchain technology. And so what I'm excited about with blockchain technology is just how the tokenization and the token economies, how that really changes how we interact with the world around us. And I think that that's going to really look different in our future as to what we receive tokens for and how many things we can receive tokens for.
Hi everyone, my name is Beier. I'm a co-founder and the CTO of First Coin Capital. Now it's being acquired by Galaxy Digital. So I came from a technology background. So besides consumer applications, I'm also interested in kind of applications built for developers to get developers more tools to build better applications.
Thank you. So can I stay with you for a second there? So kind of we moved from, I don't know, people remember mainframe towards kind of client-server models, and then we got used to hosted environment, and all these things have disrupted the way we work and whole industries, even the legal profession. So in the blockchain evolution, what do you see? Where are the challenges there? You hear people in VR and AR and IoT complaining about there being some bottlenecks there. What do you see as the biggest bottleneck in kind of blockchain applications?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you mentioned from mainframe now to cloud computing. Actually, I think from my perspective, blockchain technology, especially for developing applications, we're actually taking a step back. So today's developer's life in the blockchain world is pretty miserable. That's the word I would describe that. I think if you look at this, a lot of people ask, hey, when is the next killer app is going to come out? I'm looking for that as well. But at the end of the day, there's inspirational ideas, great. There's a great team and great product and everything you can say that. But at the end of the day, you need to give the developers the tools and to actually make it happen. It's like for a cook, you need ingredients, you need kitchenware, you need all sort of inspirations to make it happen. And inspiration and technology toolset is symbiotic as well. So one helps another, helps the other, and vice versa. So today, in the development world, for blockchain software, it's very hard when it comes to programming language, when it comes to the actual build and deploy environment, when it comes to the whole kind of library toolset is extremely limited. Not to mention, the actual blockchain itself is relatively slow, and not scalable. So for developers, in a way, are being limited, in their capability to be creative, to make something really, really useful. And also, just in general, I talk about, ingredients and kitchenware and everything, but also you need more cooks, good cooks. And today we don't have, how many, just a quick raise of hand, how many of you are developers writing code every day? Come on.
And how many are investors?
Oh, geez. So I guess the rest of you are investors or lawyers or,
Lawyers and
see, like,
investors.
that makes my point, we don't have a ton of developers today yet. We haven't attracted lots of really high quality, developers with distributed system experience, with high scalability experience, like, people from Google, I know, like, for a fact, there's more people joining Amazon, Facebook today than joining blockchain space. So that is a problem we need to solve.
Excellent. Thank you. Angela, again, given the people here in the crowd and the excitement generally, and kind of with the notion that entrepreneurship has become a thing, right? It's a kind of popular culture. People are angel investors, people are entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs. Here in Vancouver, where do you see opportunities, again, for people who want to move into the world of blockchain applications and devote time there? Where do you see the opportunities? What kind of applications do you see kind of around the corner?
Sure. I see the big application of blockchain technology being where we can find token economies so that we can provide incentives through a token, through a platform that we've built, that anyone can build. So interesting applications that I've heard about are sort of putting health systems on blockchain so that you can receive incentives or tokens for some of your health data or information. I really think we're going to start to move towards owning our data more. So whether it's exchanges that you do with big corporations like Facebook, or smaller exchanges you do with the little startups that start to build out and give us that power over our data that will then become more useful. We can wait for Facebook to give us that power, or those little startups can start to provide us that power, create those interesting organizations that we really want to be a part of because they're allowing us to control what happens. And I think that's where those startups will really start to grow.
Excellent. Are people taking notes? Hopefully, yeah. Hafeez, you were an early investor, I think you mentioned in an early discussion that we had. So for the 99% of the people here in the room who apparently are either investors or lawyers, do you have any tips from an investment perspective? Because
I think the biggest thing is the education standpoint. I think we're past that stage in 2015, 2016, where it was just a wild west of, oh, hey, you got an ICO, let me throw some money at you. And I think we're also moving past that age of 2017, where it was a lot of vaporware, where all the money that went into talking about the ICO went into making the white paper and sort of the banner, and there was nothing else there. And from going around on tour around the world and looking at a lot of the ICO conventions, there's a lot of vaporware. But I think the average investor now is coming to fruition of saying, hey, what do you have right now? How is this applicable today? And how are you going to actually show some value into what money I'm putting into right now? And I think that's a very potent question. Because if you were investing into anything else, those are serious questions you would ask. So you got to ask yourself, why aren't you asking those questions today in ICOs?
Great, thank you. Lisa, so you're a co-founder. I spend a lot of time with founders. It's always an exercise of drinking a glass of water, taking a deep breath, and looking what to explore in terms of legal terms. There's a lot of buzzwords, and I think I was just in this room about a year ago, I think, when there was a big fintech conference, and I don't think I've heard the word fintech today here. So with all the trends and vocabulary, can you kind of give us a snapshot a bit of where we are at, what's trending, because you have a very good perspective.
For sure. So having been in this industry since the early days, I describe it as there's Bitcoin, which is known as a cryptocurrency. It's a payment mechanism. It's a way of transferring digital value across a distributed ledger. And that was the first scope of this early industry, where we focused on really the speculative nature of this digital asset. We're moving now into what's known as the platform, which is the blockchain, which is the use case of how we can leverage this distributed ledger for other means aside from transferring digital value. Perhaps it's transferring digital information, and what shape is that digital information? And that's where we are at the cusp of understanding how we can leverage that. There's also this underlying piece, which is Bitcoin blockchain as an ideology, and those are the three ways I describe it. And lastly, the Bitcoin as an ideology is just that understanding that Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency is going to disrupt some kind of paradigm that we're currently involved with, and that really is what traverses a lot of people's minds who are not technical, who perhaps are not business, but they really believe in this changing technology that we're involved in. So I would say that that's where we're at right now.
Thank you. So I promised to meet my 20-minute deadline here, and so maybe just a quick kind of a final note from each one of you. Do you want to go first, Beier?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'll just use this opportunity as a call out action, more developers. I think, there's one developer here and happened to from my team, so which is good. But I think in Vancouver today, I mean, a quick count, probably we have at least 10 meetups associated with the blockchain and crypto in general. And I can tell you there's only one meetup is organized by developers for developers. It's called Vancouver Product Developer Meetup. And that kind of gives you a bit of an idea. At the end of the day, when we talk about blockchain and crypto and everything, it's developers to make it happen, right? So how can we attract more and more really high quality developers in Vancouver into the space? I mean, there's salary compensation, of course, but also there's community building. And I think, it's everybody's job, whether you're an investor or a startup founder, at the end of the day, you all need developers. So get more and more of them from Facebook, from Amazon, and into your company, and also help building the community, more events, more meetups, and more workshops, more hackathons, to get those people out, to get their interest. Because I can guarantee you, once they really get the technology behind blockchain, they'll come out, just like myself.
That was very inspirational. I'm ready to join a meetup group. Yeah, and I have to agree with that as well. As a CTO, we're constantly looking for developer talent, and it's definitely been a struggle in blockchain. What we've come to understand that developers that are really strong will pick it up because they'll learn it. But a better community here would be great, and more resources for developers here, and encouraging people to get into it would be really great as well.
Oh, thank you. I think from my perspective, I think it's important to understand the need for a community, especially here in Vancouver. I mean, we don't think about it, but we've had some really major projects start up over here. I mentioned CryptoKitties. They're just off on Granville Street, right? You never think that started over here. And you look at DMG Group, they're starting up one of the largest mining facilities in the world, and that's happening in Canada. And you look at something like Coin Payments, which is sort of one of the biggest payment providers in blockchain. That's also over here. So if you really think about it, we really need to support our local community. We can turn Vancouver into a blockchain hub. And if some of the biggest technologies and projects are coming out of here, we can truly set the mark around the world. And I look at Vicky and Michael over here from ACE School, and they do blockchain for kids. And this is one day going to help Beier out. And yeah. So yes, if you are in the tech space and you were looking at going into sort of full stack development, maybe now is the time to pivot, because there's a lot of people that already do that. There's not a lot of people that do this. And if you can make yourself stick out in doing this, you are going to go far, my friends. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm here representing Ether Party, and that's our solution for our smart contract platform that makes it easy for anyone to create smart contracts of their own. And there isn't, so the reason why we did this is because our business at Vambex works with a lot of ICOs, and we were remaking smart contracts for each one of them. And rather than rebuilding the wheel, we wanted people to do it on their own. So we're taking away one of our revenue streams and basically giving people the power to make their own smart contracts. And that's why I say usability and adoption is going to be one of the key themes this year. We can talk about supply chain, we can talk about all these use cases that are great, but in the end, who is really going to use them? No one's using them today. So we have one of the unique opportunities to actually be one of the first to actually focus on users and adoption and people who actually use the blockchain for a change. And that's why you should follow Ether Party. Thanks.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you for having me with you here and moderating. Remember the pictures there and feel free to socialize with us or preferably during cocktail time. And on behalf of all of us, I'm sure we're going to be happy to answer any questions you have. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.